Hi everyone, welcome to English 212. Oh, my dogs are on my lap right now. This is Barkley. Jerome is right over here. He's probably going to be snoring, so you're going to hear him a lot. But anyway, so I have some special guests for our very first video. I just introduced my dogs before introducing me. My name is Kim Lacey. I'm your professor for this course. Each week I'll post a weekly update video. What that means is I'm just going to go over everything for the week, all the assignments that you have to do, maybe some important topics that you should be paying attention to, or ways to think about some of the ideas that we're going to be covering from a different perspective. So lots of different uses for this weekly update video. See, he's snoring already. You can hear him. Sorry about that. And so that's what the purpose of these weekly videos are. They'll be posted on Mondays each week. And it's really important that you do watch them. Sometimes I do update information about the assignments as well, or sometimes I'll give you other information that you might not know from just reading the assignments. So it's really important that you watch these, get the information, and a lot of times questions that you have about assignments or the course material is going to be answered in these weekly update videos. What is going to go on in this class? We're going to talk about that in this weekly update. I'm going to talk about the assignments, like I just mentioned, that we have this week. So we do have a couple things to do. Nothing like too heavy, but we do have some things that we have to go over. And I should say that I'm split screen right now. So if you see me like looking off to a certain side, that's what's going on. And then I will be going over the syllabus details. So this was probably going to be a longer video. Usually the weekly updates are not too long. But this one, just because it's the very first one and we have to get used to the course, will probably be a little bit longer. All right. So what in the world are we doing with this class? This is called Techno Futures. What does that mean? We'll be exploring that throughout the semester. Our Techno Futures course is kind of built into 5 different sections. We start off with Techno Panic through history, kind of thinking about, actually I should say I'm talking about the theme first, and then I'll talk about the details of what we're going to be doing throughout the semester. Techno Panics through history, really thinking about different technologies and how they have been developed throughout history and how people had fears about them before they actually embraced them. So you'll read a little bit about how people feared paper or books, or people feared microwaves or things like that. So things that or devices that we really take for granted today, people really feared. So we're going to start off with that to really think about how we used to shun certain devices or technologies, but now we really use them in our daily lives and don't think twice about them. That will really set the basis for the Techno Futures part of this course, because we're going to be looking at some different ideas that are fairly out there, that are not adapted as mainstream yet, but could very well be in the future. So we're going to start off with that phase 1, Techno Panics. Then we're going to move into phase 2 in a couple weeks, called the Future of the Body. Really thinking about different ways that our bodies will be supplemented with different technologies, memory prosthetics, different prosthetics as well, even something as crazy as head transplants. Ooh, sounds gross. Cryogenics. And then we move into phase 3, intelligent systems. We're going to be looking at IBM's Watson and how that's useful. We're going to be looking at artificial intelligence, the Sophia bot, that Facebook developed, or not Facebook, but we'll be looking at Sophia the robot. We'll be looking at driverless cars, driverless vehicles, a lot of those different technologies as well. Phase 4 is called Making and Things. We'll be looking at 3D printing. We'll be looking at the Internet of Things. And then finally, phase 5 is cyborgs and bioart. We're going to close up the semester thinking about whether or not this idea of the cyborg, this human-machine blend, is something that we already are, something that we are becoming, something that we will never be. And then looking at some bioart as well, using biology and the body and things like that in terms of artistic expression. So lots of different topics that we'll be covering this semester. We have lots of different assignments that go along with that, which I'll talk about in just a minute. But one thing I do want to point out that this is an entirely online course. What that means is we will never be meeting in person. However, I do have in-person office hours, so you're welcome to stop by my office. It's Brown 358. I'm there Tuesday, Thursday mornings, 8:15 to 9:45, If that time doesn't work for you, I know it's kind of early, you know, especially for college students, I remember that. I can't meet by appointment. So if that time doesn't work for you, we can figure something else out. If you have any questions, though, email is the best way to reach me. All my contact information is on the syllabus, which is on Canvas. You just click that syllabus tab, it's right there. Right now, when you go onto Canvas, the first thing you'll see is kind of like this welcome message. I'm going to switch that probably tomorrow or Wednesday right to the syllabus itself. That way, when you come onto Canvas, the very first thing you see is the syllabus, and so you don't have to search for it. Anyway, so going back to my contact information, it's all at the top of the syllabus. My office phone number is there if you want to give me a call, and also my Skype. If we can't figure out a time to meet and you really want to kind of have a face-to-face conversation, we can Skype, is no problem. I do want to give you a couple considerations before starting the course. English 212 is a Category 10 course, which means you'll be writing a lot. There's a lot of writing each week throughout the entire semester. Sometimes there'll be more, sometimes there'll be less, but you do have a fair amount of writing, and that's just the type of gen ed course this is. And again, this is an asynchronous course, meaning we're never going to be meeting together at a certain time. You are responsible for completing the work on your own each week. What I do recommend is thinking about this as a face-to-face course. So you might say, okay, I'm going to devote, you know, an hour and 20 minutes every Monday and Wednesday to English 212 on my own. So I can watch videos, I can read information, I can post stuff in the discussion boards, but really thinking about it as, you know, carving out time, you know, a couple times a week, or maybe like a big chunk one day a week. Maybe you have like a block of time on Thursdays or Fridays or even the weekend, whatever works for you. But really thinking about how you're going to schedule time. And I'm sorry if his snoring is really picking up on this video. It's really kind of funny. But carving out time each week to really devote to this class is really important for your success. We do have a lot of stuff due throughout the week. Usually the due dates are either Mondays, and I'll explain what that is. That's not something that's due. There's nothing due today. There's 2 things that are going to be due on Mondays, and you're going to only be responsible for one of those Mondays. Thursdays is one of the days for questions and answers, and then Sundays is usually the big day for everything to be due. And so all of our major assignments, with the exception of the very last assignment that you have throughout the semester, that's due on a Saturday, but we'll talk about that another time. But everything is almost always due on Sundays by 11:59 Eastern Standard Time, the time zone in which SVSU is located. So if you are taking this class in a different time zone, just be aware of that. And I also want to say that I don't accept late work at all. So just make sure that you do get your work in by the deadlines. Otherwise, I won't accept it. So that is an important consideration. And I do want to say, if your computer is down, because this is an online course, you need to be prepared for that option. You need to have a backup plan. Sorry, I have a runny nose. Anyway, sorry about that. You need to have a backup plan. So you need to make sure that you have maybe somebody else's computer. Make sure you're using cloud storage so you can access your work somewhere else. But you need to have backup technology plans because that's a crucial part of this type of course. I'm not going to read through the entire syllabus for you. You can do that on your own. If you have questions about specific aspects of the syllabus, please feel free to email me. There's also a discussion board. If you click the discussions tab, there's like a questions for Kim. You're more than welcome to post in there. I usually try to respond to that within 24 to 48 hours. Same with email. So that's the easiest way to get a hold of me. There are several different tabs that we look at in terms of our classroom. The most important one is the modules tab. That's where you're going to find all the work, all the reading, all that sort of stuff. So you're going to want to click the modules tab every time you come into Canvas. Sorry, runny nose again. Ugh, I hate like allergies leads to, you know, dry air in the winter. It's just a year-round struggle. Whatever. Okay. The modules tab is where you're going to find all the information. Each module is broken up into each week. That way, you know, you'll have module 1 and you'll have each activity that you're supposed to complete by the end of that week. That completely mirrors what's in the syllabus. Each week in the syllabus is broken down by, you know, what's in the module. So you can like kind of look at the syllabus, you can look at the modules, they're the exact same thing. So that way you're right on the same page. So what I would recommend is clicking on the modules tab and then kind of following through that each week. All of our different assignments are also listed in the assignments tab. They're listed in modules, but they're also in the assignments tab. All the assignments are also under the files tab. So there are lots of different places to find the course information. Sometimes you'll have discussion posts that you'll be responsible for. Those, again, everything is linked within the modules. But if you're looking for those separately, there are different places where you can find information. And I've listed that in the syllabus. So if you want to look for discussion posts specifically, you can click through the modules, or you can go to the discussions tab on Canvas. Anything that you have to accomplish for the week, again, is in modules. Anything that you need to read, watch, click around, those are linked in the modules. Those are indicated in the syllabus as well. So you'll see what you have to do each week. And I should also note that you may have not heard me mention a textbook. There is no textbook for this class, which is kind of nice. This class is part of an open access or an open educational resources grant. And what that means is SVSU has won some money to experiment and develop courses that don't use textbooks, which is really great for you because that saves you money and you don't have to purchase a textbook. But we are going to be using all online, freely accessible text. And most of our text for this course, because it's a very kind of current and kind of changes very frequently kind of topic, really will come in the form of videos, articles, different links, that sort of idea. So everything is all freely available online. If by any chance some of the links don't work ever, let me know right away. I've printed out copies of each website. I know it seems crazy. Just in case one of the links goes down, so I can kind of scan that and toss it right up online for you so you don't have to worry about it. So just let me know if you can't access some of the links. I checked them recently and they should all be working still, but you never know. But that's why we don't have a textbook. We do have lots of readings, but they are all online and freely accessible for you. Okay. We do have questions and answers. I'm going to talk about that assignment soon and of your group assignments. Let's see here. Let's just talk about assignments right now. Why not? All right, we have a bunch of assignments this semester. We have questions and answers and a discussion post this week. Questions and answers. I'm going to post a video on that, or I have a video that's up for you. And I should say I post videos about each assignment that we have, each major assignment. That way I walk through what it's about, and you have a better idea of me talking through it, just like I would in a face-to-face class. Questions and answers is kind of your opportunity to ask questions to your classmates and also have a discussion about them afterwards. So some weeks you'll be responsible for asking questions. Some weeks you'll be responsible for answering questions. Today, in a few, probably, I don't know, maybe a couple hours or something, I'm going to divide the course into 4 different groups, A, B, C, and D. You will stick with those groups throughout the entire semester. So some weeks, let's say you're in group A, you'll see when you get to the questions and answers tab in the modules, you'll say, oh, I'm group A. I'm responsible for doing this task this week. Next week, that task will be different. You know, we kind of rotate through the task each week, every week. But you'll be responsible for figuring out what your task is. It's clearly listed. If you ever have any confusion about it, just shoot me an email and I'm happy to talk to you or stop by my office or anything. I'm going to explain that in a different video, but I just wanted to give you a heads up of what that meant. We do have 5 synthesis essays. Those are short essays, about 500 words, about 2 double-spaced pages in which you kind of think through and connect different ideas from our readings or our viewings. That way it gives you a chance to understand what you're reading through writing about it. Again, remember this is a writing course, so that's what we're doing. That's the purpose of that. We have an interview assignment in which you'll interview 3 different people from 3 different generations. You have a current events project, which is kind of broken down into a couple different assignments. You'll have a summary report, a video presentation, and participation in the week you're not presenting. You have an ethical evaluation paper, which really thinks about the ethics of one of the topics that we've been talking about throughout the semester. And then finally, you'll have an anthology project in which you kind of mimic what we've been doing all semester, in which you'll collect 20 different sources, different online sources, and kind of collect them in an anthology of your own. Kind of like I said, kind of like the sources that we'll be reading all semester, but now you'll be responsible for finding new ones. So those are the assignments that we'll be doing this semester. And again, I'll post videos about those. All the due dates are listed on the course calendar, so you can find out all that information. Let's see, what else do you need to know? I mentioned the syllabus and the course calendar. Everything is there for you, all the different phases each week, all the different assignments and readings. All the assignments are linked in the, all the readings and videos are linked in the syllabus. They are also linked in the modules as well. Just so you have a couple different ways of finding them. It's the same information, but it's just linked in different places for your for ease. Also, your group assignments are also noted in the syllabus as well. Those are also listed, or not your group assignments. I'm confusing right now. Your group, what you're supposed to be doing each week in your group. So, for example, group for this week, questions and answers. Group A, you're going to create and post 2 discussion questions. Group B, and I'll explain what that means in a different video. Group B, create and post 2 content questions. Group C, respond to 2 discussion questions. And Group D, respond to 2 content questions. So you have different assignments each week. Next week, that'll kind of flip around a little. Whew. I've talked a lot in this video. I think I've talked through the syllabus enough. Yeah. I think you're done listening to me for this video. I think you need a break. I think I need some water, too. All right. Say goodbye, Berkeley. Bye, everybody. He's really sleepy right now. Obviously, my other dog is sleeping because you can hear him snoring. Here, you can say hi to my son's dog. We like dogs in this house. This is my son's dog, Biscuit. Hello. So, yeah, lots of puppies in this video. All right. Well, I look forward to meeting everybody. You do have kind of like an introduction post in this week's assignments in which you introduce yourself. So I'm looking forward to reading those and learning more about you. And I think this semester will be good. I hope. No, I'm confident it will be. We'll have a good time this semester. So let me know if I can help in any way. And here we go. Welcome to English 212. Bye.